Hello fellow colorists, welcome back to the channel. This is Jody at JI Colorist, and today is Whimsical Wednesday. Typically Wednesdays I color something that starts with a W. We're going to vary from that a little bit today because we are going to be coloring in tiny worlds, so I guess that technically starts with a W, but the subject on the page is what I'm really going for today. And March 6th is my wedding anniversary, so it would be 31 years today that I was married to my husband. So today is kind of a bittersweet day, so I thought I really wanted to color something fun. And so I looked online to see what else was happening on March 6th, and I found that here in the United States they have a bunch of things happening. Today is National Dentist Day, National Dress Day, Frozen Food Day, and the ultimate is today is National Oreo Cookie Day. So in my book that I just did a flip through on Sunday, so you can catch that if you haven't. This is a brand new book to me, and in here there is a page called Ice Cream Canyon Ridge, and this is the page that we are going to start coloring today. I'm also going to go over and read you a few Oreo facts while we're coloring this. I'm not sure if we'll do extra trivia or not, but we will certainly color some facts. I'm going to use a combination of my Blick Studio pencils and also for the really small fine details, and I'll zoom you down so you can see what's going on. All of these cookies and stuff, we're going to be using the Steadlter pigment brush pens that I recently picked up. So I think that that'll be good. I was staring at this page for quite a while till I finally figured out what this thing is here, and this is an ice cream scoop. So these tiny world pages are quite fun to do, but it does take me, it's kind of like the myth from graphic pages. I need to stare at the page for a while until I kind of figure out what everything is. So with that explanation about what we're going to do, let me grab all my supplies and we'll get started. So the pencils I'm going to use today are my Blick Studio. I have the 72 set, plus I just picked up recently the 12 grays. And in this 12 grays, they have split between cool gray and warm gray. I'm going to use the warm grays because I also want to use my Steadlter pigment brush pens. And my lightest gray is the light warm gray because this is the light cool gray and it's quite a bit darker, so I'm going to go with the warm grays. When I think ice cream, I normally think cool grays, but I'm going to try the warm gray just because those are the colors I have here. I also am going to use the cream, and I'm also going to use the ice blue in the pigment brush pen by Steadlter. They also have two different blacks, which is going to come in handy. They have a light black and an intense black. And so to do the Oreo cookies, because they are black, but they are kind of two different shades of black on the cookie, I'm really hoping that that works out well. So we're going to start on a cookie itself just to see how one works. So I'm going to zoom you down, and I think that's, there we go. Okay, and we'll start up at the top. Because these are pigment brush pens, I don't think they will bleed through, but I'm going to stick a piece of paper behind just in case. I haven't had any bleed through on the Lulu Mail books, but this is the first time coloring in this book. It is nice smooth paper, so there shouldn't be any feathering, but we will see. So I'm going to start on one of the tiny little shard pieces here first, and so this is the light black, and that's pretty black. Okay, so I'm going to wait till that dries, and then I'm going to come in with the dark black. Let's also just grab gray, and I'm going to start coloring here. I must admit that I had to actually look up on Google what cookies and cream ice cream looked like, and so I will, because I did look that up, I'll include a a picture on screen here of the inspiration page or picture that I'm using. Comment down below if you are a fan of Oreo cookies or if you have ever eaten them. I think we've probably all eaten them, but if you enjoy cookies and cream ice cream, I've got quite a few interesting facts about them, or I thought they were interesting anyways. I mean, it's a cookie with some history, so that's kind of fun. Okay, I'm going to zoom you a little bit so that you can see more of what I'm coloring. I'm just starting to come in with my lightest warm gray and lay down a bit of color while this dries. And I think it's probably dried enough. I'm also going to come in with the cream color, and the cream is rather yellowy. It's more cream than my polychromos cream, so that's why we're just going to use it in a few areas instead of all over. Okay, now we're going to come in with my dark intense black and see if there's going to be a difference. Okay, I'm doing it on a small piece just to make sure that I'm actually going to be happy with that, because otherwise I'll switch to the pencils and just use, in fact we'll do a pencil one. So I'm going to do the black first, the intense black, and I'll let that dry, and then I'll come in with some pencil and see which one I like best before doing all of them. I'm just doing it on a couple, so that's one tip for you. It's really too yellow. Actually, if I put the gray on top of the yellow, that's dulling it down a bit. I like that. Okay, I think I'll do that. The illustrator has left all these lines, so I will definitely be doing gray along those lines. So I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope you're able to pull out a coloring book and color along. Doesn't have to be this coloring book, obviously, because this is a fairly new one. Let's I just feel like there needs to be some color on the page. So let's put some color on the page, and let's do this sign. This person is taking a picture with his cell phone. I think that's kind of funny. Good job I have these markers, because these are pretty tiny areas, tiny worlds for tiny. If you're a person that likes detail, coloring book you might want to investigate. Okay, I'm going to come in with my warm gray 8 and fill in this cookie and see how it looks. I think I like that better. I think you can see more of a definition between the dark. Yeah. Okay. I will use the light black though to do, there's a bunch of little spots that are like cookie chunks everywhere. And I think I'll just put those in with this. And I'm not worrying about getting that done. All right, let's get coloring some of these cookies. I'll put on my glasses. So this is the warm gray 8, And I'm just gonna color the cookie, and then I'm gonna come back with the darker, because then I don't have to wait for the pigment ink to dry, because it'll go over top of this. So a few facts about Oreos. I'll read you some of those. And I got these online. Surprisingly, there's a few websites that talk about Oreo cookies, so it's obviously a huge thing here. The first Oreo cookie was actually called an Oreo biscuit, and it was first sold by Nabisco way back in 1912. So that's an amazingly long time ago. And in 1921, so that was 1912, and then in 1921, the Oreo biscuit was renamed to Oreo sandwich. And then after that, there's two different websites had two different dates, so I'm going to include both of the dates. One website said 1937, another said 1948, but the name was updated from Oreo sandwich to Oreo cream sandwich. And then in 1974, it was called the Oreo chocolate sandwich cookie, and that is what it is still called today, the sandwich cookie. And it is the best-selling cookie in the US. So that's kind of interesting. So my husband really enjoyed going to the supermarket when we were in the States, because we owned a home in Las Vegas for over 10 years, and he really enjoyed going to the cookie aisle and looking at all of the different Oreo cookies that they have here in America for the different holidays and all that kind of stuff, because in Canada we just have, once in a while we'll get a special cookie, but for the most part we just have the plain Oreo cookies, or the original, and we don't get all these seasonal ones that they get here in the States. So he always enjoyed that Oreo cookie hunt, I would call it. And he enjoyed the red velvet Oreo cookies and the birthday cake cookies, and the mint chocolate chip chocolate Oreo cookies. Yeah, there was lots of different ones. So it was kind of fun. So although the Oreo cookie has had many flavors over the years, the actual image and design of the cookie has remained the same since 1952. So I guess if it's not broke, don't fix it. It's iconic. It's part of popular culture here. If you saw an Oreo cookie on a plate, you would know that it's an Oreo cookie. So I guess they do a great marketing job, that's for sure. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these cookies done, and then I'll be back to do some of the other items. Okay, just using my pigment, the ice blue color on the background for this map, just to start to bring in a little bit of color onto our page. And there's some outside work. I think one of the neighbors is having their lawn cut or something, so I'll add a little bit of music here, I think. So I am really liking this light black versus the intense black. I think that for the cookies here, it's going much better. So I do like that. And I also reminded myself that I need to get my white gel pen, because part of the Oreo cookie is a cream filling. And so on these larger cookies where there is like something underneath, that should actually be the filling. So I'm gonna make sure I get that put in a few spots. So apparently scientists, the Splash Labs, a team of scientists from Splash Labs, actually has determined the best or the optimal amount of time to dunk your cookies in your Oreo cookie in milk, and that is apparently 3 seconds. So I was wondering if anybody actually does that. Do you eat your cookie by dunking it in milk, or I just eat my cookie? I kind of like my cookie with tea or a hot drink if I'm eating a bunch of cookies. And I wondered, they also, a lot of people will open their, I'll zoom you out so my hands aren't so big, but they'll take their Oreo cookie and twist it so that it comes in two, and then you kind of can get to the filling part, I guess, and then the biscuits separate. But so comment below if you have a preferred way of eating your Oreo cookies, and we have people from all over the world, so comment below if you even have Oreo cookies at your grocery store, because maybe this is not something you're even familiar with. Love to know if my New Zealand, Australian, and United Kingdom friends have Oreo cookies at their grocery store. Australia has a bunch of, like when we were there, we had Tim Tams and a bunch of other fun cookies. So I know you guys have cookies there. Just not sure if you have Oreos. So this is going to take me longer than today's video to get this done, but that's okay. It will be, I'm not sure if I'll have it done enough or fast enough to have it at the end of this video, but there will certainly be included in the March completed pages. Had to remember what month we're in. I will be traveling back home at the beginning of April, so you'll have one more month of limited books here and limited supplies. I am missing my polychromos, and I am missing all my glittery items, but I'm holding back. I'm not going to buy them all over again. Making do with what I have here and having fun. I must say that my breathing here has been so much better. I'm at like 63 feet sea level here in California, and back in Alberta, Canada, I'm at 3,600 feet. So we're talking 3,600 feet difference. So yeah, it's so much easier for me to breathe here and walk my dog. So yes, definitely something to be said for living near, at lower altitudes. Let me keep working on this. I also working on the background here of this, and I first used the ice blue, and then I've been shading a little bit with the ice blue in the Blick Studio. So they just happen to be named the same, and I'm kind of making it look almost like there's some clouds on the sign here, so thought that would be kind of fun to do. So that's the plan. Not sure what the color for the lettering will be, and I started doing this. It's a hang glider, I think the people are called, and I pulled out my Pitt Artist Pen in Ultramarine. There we go, and I did that, and then I'm going to finish it in the sky blue to bring the top blue down here. And I just thought you'd be interested in knowing I have found that the so I have both of these nibs. The Faber Castell nib is slightly thicker and it's definitely stiffer, and this one is slightly thinner and more flexible, but they both are doing really well. They're both pigment ink. And neither, I'll flip over the page and you can see that neither have bled through. Let me get a bit more done, zoom you out. I'll get a bit more done, and then I'll be back when I'm doing something more interesting than just the cookies. Okay, see you shortly. Just to show you what kind of intricate items are happening on this page. When you first look at it, it just looks like it's a scenic overlook where people are staring out over kind of like the Grand Canyon. But if you look at what each person's actually doing, this person is reading a map and looking through a telescope. This person here is using a camera and taking a picture with his like iPhone type camera. This one has a regular camera. And then this person right here is actually kneeling and proposing marriage to this lady here. So, and then we've got two kids that are kind of playing hopscotch over the cookie bits. So there's quite a bit happening in this one small area, and all of these people definitely will be using my either the pencils or the Pitt pigment brush pens, because they are awfully small details. And yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how I manage to get all of that detail. So it's definitely a tiny world happening on this page. I am enjoying using the Blick Studio gray set. I'm using Warm Gray 8, which I have never used that color before. So it's almost black, but not. So it is definitely a warm gray. And I'm yeah, quite liking how it's working on this paper. I do find the Blick Studio pencils, they are not my favorite. They are rather dry and yeah, definitely not my favorite. I definitely am okay leaving them here in the United States as my backup pencils for when I'm visiting. I'm not sure how the light fastness is on them or anything like that, but that's not really a big concern for me. But I do find that they take they need more than one layer to get sufficient pigment down. I do need to make sure my pencil sharpener is a good handheld one, or the leads do break. But it's a strong pencil, so it's not super waxy or anything like that. And because they hold a fine point for quite a while, I thought that these would work better than my Four Candies mechanical pencils, because those are quite waxy, and although they would do great on this paper, and I will use them later on this paper, but for all these tiny, tiny details, I think you really do need a sharp leaded sharp point on your pencil. So yeah, I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a review on how I'm enjoying using the pencils and their pluses and minuses. They aren't a pencil, like I said, I leave them here, so they're not a pencil that I use a lot of. Okay, I'll keep at all these. We're getting close to being done all of the cookies. So as soon as all the cookies are done, I'll be back and we will tackle some of the frozen part to have that as part of our day as well. Yesterday, for lunch, we were out shopping, just, weekend normal grocery shopping, and we stopped at Yogurtland, which is a frozen yogurt place here. And so you buy yogurt in a cup and then you top it off with whatever things you want. So my favorite frozen yogurt is coconut, and then I topped it off with some mochis and some little brownie bits and that kind of thing. So, and some blueberries. So yeah, comment below if you're an ice cream fan or a frozen yogurt fan. Okay, I'll be back shortly. Okay, I have done all of the cookies, so we're good for that. I've also used the warm gray light to go over kind of like the striped areas that show kind of the ridges, and added a bit of ridge detail just to put it down so that I remember that that's what my intention was. I'm going to bring in the cool grays now, and I'm going to start with the cool gray light, and I'm going to do these lookout areas in cool gray, just because I know they're going to be gray, but I want them to be a different color than all the warm grays. So I thought I would come in with this is the light, which is not all that light. And then we have the medium here that I thought I could do part of it as well. So I'm going to leave parts of it so that I can also bring in my Stardust Clear and make some of it shiny, I thought. I just thought I'd do a bit of shading. I like how that looks. I will zoom you down and we'll do the next one. And then I'm going to come in with the mid to add some shadow here. Just using my finger to kind of smear it a bit, and I like that. Okay, and once that's dry, I can always come in and do some more shading with the pencils. This is the cool gray. Okay, I'll do a few more of those, and now that I've picked those colors, I can finish off this sign area, because I'll do the same treatment. I do end up with dirty fingers while I'm coloring, so I don't know about you, but my fingers seem to be my smear tool of choice. Okay, let me keep working on this, and I'll be back once more progress is done. Okay, I'm just finishing off the what I'm calling the telescopes. I'm sure that's not the actual name for them, but that's kind of what they are. So I've used a pigment pen in umber to kind of imitate brass, and then I'm also using the Jelly Roll Stardust Clear, and I'm going to do where the actual lens is in that, and then underneath as well, just so that there's a little bit of sparkle on here, but not a lot. So finish off the comment below if you've ever stopped at one of these Outlook sites while you're doing your travels and taken a bit of time to look through them. I think that they're kind of fun. They're very, seems to me like it's kind of nostalgic. We went to Yellowstone National Park and we would stop at a few of these Outlooks along the way to get out and stretch our legs a little bit and take a peek at what was the roadside attraction. And then the billboard is a little bit glitzy as well. And I still need to figure out what color to make the signage, but maybe I'll actually bring in the darker blue that I used on the kite. So currently I am tackling the ground, which is the ice cream, and again taking a look at the reference photo on screen of what this ice cream kind of looks like, but I do have a limited number of colors here with me and limited number of supplies. I would love to have used some light colored gelatos on this, but I just simply don't have them here. So we're going to make do with the warm gray 1, the cream, and I brought in the ice blue as well. And we've already had a little bit of the warm gray light in, that's this one, to do some of the edging. So I've just kind of been going over lightly the whole area, and then also bringing in the cream along some of the spots just to give it a bit of different color here and there, and then some blue just to add color because it is totally blah otherwise. So just thought I'd add a little bit of the blue color here and there to kind of reflect the light and other items on the page, because otherwise, yeah, this is going to be kind of a boring color. And then right here I've got a bit of a blue smear. I went and I pulled out an kneaded eraser and didn't knead it enough before using it, and there was obviously something already on the eraser, and so now I've got this blue smear here, which I'm going to try and recover and color up. So at least it's a blue smear and not a big pink smear or something like that. It's going to take a long time, so I think I may sign off the video here and wish you all a colorful and creative rest of your day. Thank you for joining me and spending a bit of time on this National Cookie Day. If you enjoy Oreos, I hope you have a chance to eat one today in celebration. And until Sunday, take care and have some fun. Bye-bye.